Okay. How's it going, everybody? Think everything's working. Do you let me know if the music's too loud? So I can adjust that. And I think it should be fine. So see, alright. Get our model. Hope everybody had a nice day. Saw my parents today and I had lunch with them and the girlfriend, which was nice. So yeah, it's gonna have one kick, last drag, and then we'll get painting. Okay, let's just check if I can actually unplug my headphones without it dying. Yeah, I can do that. 92% should be fine. So, when we left off yesterday, it's around here. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna darken that piece inside of the neck down. The camera will focus, there we go. So I'm gonna darken that piece down to the same as this. So, feel free to chat. I don't feel so alone. I do apologize if I sound a little bit groggy. To take a slight cat nap after the lunch. Right. Put the phone there. So yeah, I think we're gonna get somewhere, start getting somewhere today. I don't know if I want to start with a face, because that's gonna be a bit hard to work around it the whole time. So I think I might leave that for later, because I can already see I'm gonna bump into it the whole time. Let's see if we can get in there. Now the previous few models I painted in sub-assembly, which is fine and well. I think I want to give it a go painting the whole model assembled and see how that goes. That's my other brush. I'm just gonna get in there and wiggle some paint around. still early stages, so don't really be too neat. So if anybody watched last night would know the skin was very patchy, but after just going over it with the airbrush quickly, the skin tone just covers it a lot better. It's because it has some harmony with the color below it. So now it's starting to look more like smooth skin. Okay. Now the decision is gonna start on what I want to do. So I don't know if I want to do everything super smooth on the armor. I haven't painted red armor before, so trying to decide if I want to do that. I do like where everything is. Just want to try and get that bottom piece as well. So not trying to be super neat. Just want to get it covered. Can always go back again and make it pretty. Let's just frame that little piece. Right. Now, I think I'm just gonna start something. I don't know what. Just wanna check something out. Look if I cover these in red as well, if it makes sense. That should work. Now I just have to decide on what the hair color should be. Let's do that blue.
Good evening. I don't know about you, but I think we live in exciting times. And one of the
Apparently
biggest
there's
reasons for
ads.
this, online shopping. You can right now buy furniture or groceries or shoes
Okay.
or a BMW. Yes, a BMW. You can browse BMWs right now
Gotta love
from the
ads.
comfort of your couch. For more, search BMW anywhere. I'm Joanne Strauss, and this is
Okay,
a new
Joanne
way to buy
Strauss. Don't care what you have to say. How's it, salary? Just quickly fix this. Okay. I do have a BMW bike, but I don't know if I want a car. The bike's already so expensive to maintain. How was your day? How was your trip to Joburg? So, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the blue here and then highlight it with ice yellow so you get that nice green, teal pop. It's blocking everything in to see if I'm going to be happy with it. And then we can actually start cleaning up and have some fun and start with some actual detailing work. Alright, that's good. Where's your pictures? I can show it. Yeah, I think purple is a good choice. Just neaten up this here a little bit, the face. Alright, and now I have to wait. Alright, so what do you reckon? Start with, like I said earlier, I don't want to start with the face because got a lot of area to work around with, and it's probably one of the last things I'm gonna have to touch on the model, to be honest. So I think I'm gonna start with the second skin thingy-maboober. And then go from there. Let's get this. Alright. No worries. So zoom out. So what I'm thinking I want to do is take that dark color on a second skin, highlight it with that graphene gray, which is a little bit lighter, basically dark sea gray, and then darken it down with a black, which I don't have out. But I think, yeah, that's gonna be the idea. So I'm just gonna quickly get that if I can find it in the mixture of everything. No, it's purple. Should really bold a paint track. Ah, fat black. There you go. Is this the open or closed one? Ah, it's open. Is the music not too loud, not too soft? So I think that's what I'm gonna go for. So now the question is, do I wanna block in the colors like I said I wanted to do? Would boost 10%. Boosting 10%. Is that fine? Let's just shake them all together. Alright. We got our black, got our dark blue, maybe another. That, and then so. Does that help? See, it is very soft on the thing. Should be fine now. Let's wait for the next ad to play, then we should know. So what I think I want to do is I'm going to take my lightest color and sketch out where I want the highlights. That I don't know what it is. And then the same on that side. I don't want to do leather because it's very futuristic and have it look out of place. So let me just do that. And then just start putting that in the darkest places. It's not a big color difference. Add some more black. Alright, no worries. Did find out that you have to put on a setting so it records and keeps your previous videos. Luckily yesterday wasn't very important, so that's fine. Powers of... Hey, how's Ether? How's it going? So yeah, that's where we are now. Painting on stream is a lot slower, which is a good and a bad thing. Let's take it as just a good thing for now. Because then I don't want to be lazy. I think a little bit more through what I want to do. I think it's going to be okay. It's going to get a lot lighter by some points. So hopefully it doesn't look too bad. So let's just get down. Here. Darken up that. I think make this all completely black underarms. Need for gloves. Yeah, that's the plan. It looks okay now. Like I said last night, I don't usually paint like this. Sketching everything out. And obviously my phone would ring. So, give me 1 sec. Just mute the mic. Alright. Sorry about that.
Been thinking about coming back to Spotify Premium?
Jeez.
Now that's a great idea. With unlimited skips, ad-free listening and offline mode, upgrading to Premium is...
Gotta love it. Let's just go to that one. This is very... Oh no, it's just from the... I just usually drag over my wet palette and then get it out. And then I got a other cup, which is usually rinse off most of the paint. Living with a cat, hair everywhere. I think I'm not gonna mess about too much actually now. I think I'm just gonna go full yeah. Stark contrast for now, then instead of kind of going bit for bit. So yeah, let's rather do that. So I'm gonna go completely black and block out all of that. I don't want. So that's done. I don't have to worry about it. And that way I can already see where I can progress up and down from. And it's a bit easier to adjust at the end. I think the big issue is these and I lost my train of thought. Damn it. I think Seller did say he was gonna play a little bit of Dota and lurk with his, or lurk while playing Dota. Luckily I kicked that game a long time ago. Oh, mine was all good. Saw my parents today. I had lunch with them. I haven't seen them since the start of the year. So yeah, it was good to catch up. Gonna see them again over the weekend. It's my birthday on Sunday, so they're gonna pop on through after they finished working on Saturday. That's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice just to actually sit down and just chill with the family again. Probably not gonna do much. I don't want a lot of people over in these times. Try to still go out as little as possible for reasons we all know. So that's the plan. But enough about me. How was your day? Tell me all about it. Enjoy the streams. I'm saying streams because I only done 2. I did earlier when I was beginning of last year's lockdown. I was doing a few streams, but only on the Discord. But back then, I really didn't know much about painting, and I was very scared to try new things. So I improved somewhat since then. So hopefully this goes a lot better. Ah, that sucks, man. So hopefully quick recovery. Um, yeah, we all do work with our hands, and I know it can be a pain trying to work around something and not doing what you want to do, especially if you paint and you want to just enjoy it after work and you can't because you got something going on. Yeah, really hope your hand gets better soon. Keep us updated. I think I might switch over to my weird holder because this thing is a little bit too small to be working around the whole time. Ah, okay, well, that's good. Well, thanks for watching, eh? Let's just pop this one out because it's gonna work a lot better for this model. Don't do that. Big oof. That was still good. So for anyone asked weird questions, this is just a inhaler which I cut open and glued the bottom piece to it, so it works as a good handle, and then I just made a silly little base to hold it in place because the proper ones, they are sold out, and if something works I want to have it, so if you can't buy it, make it yourself. It's going to work a little bit thicker because we're still in very early stages, so I'm not going to be too worried about being thanks man, be too worried about being neat. So the whole idea is to just get everything laid down. If it doesn't look right, we know it before we started committing to anything. Can go back and add some black there and there and get up in that business. Oh, well, hopefully I'm entertaining enough. Painting can only get so entertaining. Not revolutionizing anything new. So yeah. And if you enjoyed, I'm happy. And it is still very hot. Cool. I think it would help if you wanted to give it a go. At least you know, don't have to be so careful about everything. So this is a weird angle. So that at least you can get a little bit faster if you want to start painting, but it's a fun and relaxing thing to do, at least for me. Let's get this a little bit more covered. It's gonna start to look very weird now. I'm gonna jump to this grey color. It looks a little bit blue, that's fine. Now, I'm gonna do little stripes like this. Oh, still very rough. Top of the arm, yeah. Yeah, if the hair dry didn't give up on me. Funny enough, in saying that, I think it's just one of the things of living with a cat now is fan decided to give up on us. Last night I woke up and realized this fan was spinning very slow. And then I realized there was a very distinct burny smell in the room. So then I decided to put it off and put it outside. So it's a very quick drying paint. It is acrylic paint. I'm just adding water to it. So there's no extra drying time to it. Yeah, I do have a lot of oil paints as well, but I think I'm very far away from attempting to use them again, because they're nice for shading and getting some smooth transitions out in what I can do so far. But that is pretty much where that train stops for me. Apart from that, it just goes downhill. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to dump a lot of dark paint into her gloves just to get that dark in there. Let's just pull some of this grey. I have a feeling this grey is going to cover a lot better. So it's looking very messy now, but I'm not really concerned. Because you can smooth everything out. So that now if I did a little bit better job of smoothing, a little bit more smooth transitions. What is this? Sure. Celery being a complete champion. Sending photos of him playing games and watching at the same time. Good man. So this looks absolute rubbish now, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go a few steps back. I'm going to go a few steps back and then go back to my original blue and start working that in again. Because now I know pretty much where I want my highlights. So let's pick a easy spot to do this. So I think I'm gonna work on that little piece there. So gonna be a bit little thinner paint. I want to cover all the previous work. I'm saying previous work has almost basically no impact. It's just for me to see if I'm happy with the placement. Let's get these inside bits nice and dark as well. We have not gotten an ad yet. That's good. Probably changed that now, but now you can see pretty much how much more the black has an impact. So I'll pull a little bit of this paint back down, thin it down nicely. And work against that black. Do get a little bit of a wet and wet blend, but nothing too serious. I think that black work a little bit with us. So the one benefit of sketching out, even though I'm not putting down super transparent paints, that under sketch is gonna help me a little bit so I don't fight too much with it. So as I'm applying the other shades, they already got some color harmony with the color below. I'm working away from that blue tone. That's just the first pass, and I'm gonna go into my grey. Let's get most of that off. I'm gonna work into the middle of it all. So it still looks very messy. It's fine. Part of it. I don't want to play too much around the airbrush, because I'm scared I'm gonna use it a little bit too much. You know what? I have no idea. I'll do that later. So while that's drying, so I'm gonna repeat this a little bit over and over. I could do some stippling, but there's not a very clear difference between the layers, so I can maybe do it for some spots. Where's my little holder? Get a little bit of tissue paper. Rocking that 2-ply. So all I'm going to do now is get my brush nice and loaded with paint and just dab it off little by little. So now I just want to get a nice outline of where I want the darker spots. Nice and dark up in there, following that little piece in there and all the way. So that other under pieces are nice and dark. Okay, let's try to get this pieces in between nice and dark. Because I want to have the red pop nicely against that later on. So a little outline. You can be sure that there's a clear separation between the two. So let's move this blue again. And let's doing the same thing, mixing more of that blue in. And what I might do soon is see how the two compares when I do one technique over the other. Because sometimes it's good to learn a few things, trying new things. But if one thing is clearly better than the other, why struggle so much? So, wait for that to dry. So one thing I am thinking of doing is this color, contrast paints, just to bring some nice blue tones into that second skin, which I think would work nice. I'm just gonna leave it there for now. Blend out this last bit here. Then again, I'm just pulling from my next bar of paint, making it nice and transparent. Working away from the previous color. If you want to smooth out that transition, just dump that little piece of paint where that stark transition is, and that should smooth it out. The only thing I can really see is going to be the issue is that I'm going to have a lack of contrast. So what I might do, I'm just going to move on and see if it's going to be an issue. And try to not disturb the paint which is underneath. I should really let it dry a little bit more. I'm just going to give it a little bit these sharp lines. It's not these flat transitions going into that. I should probably not blow because I'm blowing the microphone. That's fine. Now what I can do, instead of going back just to my second lowest color, and go back to that, or I can try even boost this a little bit more. And what I think would work for that, it's not pure white because we don't want that. I think I'm going to add ivory. So the camera's blowing it completely out, and it looks like a very bright yellow, like ice yellow, but this is ice yellow, which is a very, very bright color. So I'm not going to use this because that's very yellow. This is very a bright pastel, even if that doesn't make sense. And the nice thing about creams and off-whites are they cover well, but they get covered well as well. See what I mean with that? Just gonna drag a little bit out. Just want to make small little scratches. Now we're getting somewhere now. I can do continue that. like that. So once that's a little bit more or less stark, I'm gonna do this. Just take my second darkest color, I'll do it just a little bit so it's not that opaque. Get some moisture off the brush, I don't have too thin of a color. I'm just going to drag it over like this, just to smooth out that very sketchy lines.
Some guy
Is
called
it gonna
Peter
be
managed
at?
to
Yeah.
jump a skipping rope over 12,000 times in an hour. Really, it's a world record.
Got it ad. You know what? Fuck it. I don't really want to do that because I know what's gonna happen. Is if I use a YouTube video, music, Twitch mutes the whole audio piece, and then you're gonna have completely no audio during the whole VOD. Let's go back to Stream Beats. Ah, he's got a YouTube page. Is it short videos? Oh, come on. Sneaky man. Can't use that. So, back to the Spotify with ads. Let's see. They're all such short songs. But at least it's something. So, now you can see it's going to be very bright, which I'm fine with. This is where the contrast paint comes in. So contrast is very punchy but very transparent, which is nice. So I'm gonna take a quick drag and then I'm gonna explain on. So these tend to need a little bit of a shake because there's no pigment in it. It's a inkside dye. So what that means is there's no physical pigment in it. It's more stained water or medium than anything else. So that is how that looks. It's a very dark blue, but add it to the palette. I'm going to show now. Just dip it in. You don't need much actually, because it is very strong and you have to dilute it quite a little bit. So if I drag undiluted over my finger, it's very transparent. Not super transparent at the moment, but it is going to be transparent in a second. So bring that down. Just added a bunch there, diluted it here. So now I don't think I want to take my nice brushes because that will destroy it. Let's take my crappy ones. If you want to, I do go to a few paint classes, help a guy out, and I do sometimes just paint there. So this is a toothbrush traveling thing. So you put your toothbrushes in. They're also long enough to store your paintbrushes in without damaging it. So if you don't want to be afraid that your paintbrushes are going to get destroyed during transit, use that. So all I'm going to do now is take some of that diluted paint, remove some of it, and just glaze over everything. Can actually work with it pretty undiluted. And what you would see is it does give this nice bluish tone. Over everything. Without disturbing the colors underneath it, so that very bright ivory goes down to this nice blue tone. And this does actually help make this black look a lot more blacker next to the red. So I'm just gonna put some of that in there, play around with darker shadows. Let's get a little bit heavy handed with it, might as well. So it's not smooth or anything, not too concerned about that now. So the only thing with contrast is it's very shiny, it's very gloss. And I'm not too worried about that now. Because I will matte down everything later. So that's pretty much the idea of the behind how I use and a lot of other people use contrast paints. Well, that's drying. Might as well move on to the other pieces. So thanks, Hillary. Shine is just killing me. I don't wanna gloss varnish every second time matte varnish every time I do a small little piece. But I am very, very, very curious to see how this stuff works. So I might do all the other stuff at the same time, so that I don't have to wait for everything to dry in between. So what I think I'm gonna do is just go very sketch and then refine it a little bit as I go. And yeah, I do like that bluish tones. One quick question, is it too dark on this, or is it actually fine? Because I do have a light above my head that makes my stuff a little bit look darker on the screen, but on the webcam it looks fine. So please let me know, because then I can adjust the exposure a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is just basically going to work again with these tones and then jump straight to the ivory, so that we just go a little bit quicker, and then you can do some stippling just to refine everything out, because I think that's pretty much where it comes in place for me at this point. So I'm just gonna take some of that dark blue, zoom out a little bit, because I do have to remind myself that there's a lot of space on the screen, because I'm also used to trying to get everything so close for no reason. I'm still trying to learn which is the best way to move up and down. What I mean with that, it's always easy to work from the brightest color or the mid-tone. Let's go a little bit wild. I know it's looking very messy. That's fine for now. You know what, I think this is gonna be one of the times I wanna actually go very smooth, because I don't really love the idea of this. Do I want to do it? I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it, because if I don't do it now and it comes out shit, I'm not gonna be very pleased with myself. So I like how the colors work, but I'm not happy with the textures or the too much of it. I'm gonna go full YOLO and just try something. Yes, that is just black over everything again. And that's fine with that little piece coming through slightly, because that I can use to my advantage. So why I did that was because I want to make it smoother. Now I could just smooth it out with the airbrush, but I don't want to use the airbrush now. Yeah, I'm in that spot where I really do enjoy painting smooth, but I still struggle to get the contrast
What's
at
better than
time.
something awesome? Lots of
Gotta love it.
awesome things all
Really gonna have to try and figure something out. I'm not gonna pay for something and have ads. No ads. So I do enjoy painting smooth, but I love the look of something being rough and still having it work. But I don't think I'm there yet to really pull it off. Painting smooth does take me a long while, but at least I know how it's gonna look at the end most of the time. So I think I'm just gonna buckle down for the next half an hour and get that nice and smooth, get all the tones I want, and then to pull everything together, use that contrast paint again just to give it all this nice blue, because I'm working with fairly desaturated tones, and that blue would help just to get that going. So let's do that. So I'm going to use that already what I have, still a little bit of that light popping out, which is fine. So I'm going to work more in a mix a tone, mix it together, and then work from that pool, adding colors to that the whole time, which works better for me at the end. And if I want to add textures, I can just stipple it on. So let's rather do that. And sorry for you guys watching, and I'm jumping so around. But yeah, I doubt that anyone would follow my painting advice. So let's rather just go smooth and try to push the contrast as good as I can. So I'm just gonna take this black, add that blue, and from that blue, I'm gonna make a little pool of that, wick most of it off. Now the one benefit in working like this is you can work with fairly transparent colors. So most of the stuff do blend naturally. I'm not too worried of getting everything smooth because the contrast paint will help me in the end to get everything a little bit more smoothed out. So see, as it dries, it's gonna get less and less shiny, obviously. So I think I might go steal a hairdryer just to get it going, because painting with thin colors you want to go quite quickly. So just give me 1 sec. Alright, I'm back. Stole a hairdryer. So hopefully this doesn't get too noisy. I think I will need it. Is that fine? Too loud? Alright, so all I'm gonna do is basically just blow it a little bit once it gets dry. Awesome. So I'm just gonna add some of this gray next to that. Work those colors into each other. A little bit too much water. Get that going. So when this starts drying, you want to start leaving it alone, because you can pull the paint up with the color you're working with. Not usually a hassle to get covered again. No problem. Yeah. I also decided to try to do a bit smoother. a nice solid away. So then I'm just gonna work back and forth with these colors to smooth out those planes. It really doesn't take much. Now, any white color is a pain to glaze with, just of the how the pigments are. It's very opaque. So what I think I'm going to do is mix a little bit of this grey, grab some of this ivory, mix that nicely together, grab water, kind of like a wetsuit, I would say. So I don't want it too shiny, I want it to look like it's reflecting, or just have a highlight on it. So what I'm doing is this stippling now. You don't need much to have it impact the surface, but you do want it to be a bit random, because that does help a lot. Because as soon as you get this smooth kind of texture thing, it kind of defeats the purpose of it. Artist Opus did a nice video on how to give the impression of blends and how to break it up, which was a very cool video. And textures was one of them, to kind of break up the over smooth or even rough blends you can blend out with adding textures and different things. So I'm stippling with fairly translucent paint. I don't want it to have too much of an impact at one given time, but I do want it to build up over time. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more of that white or ivory in there and thin that out nicely. That should be fine. Now doing it a little bit tighter area. And try to be more random in a tighter area. Changing up your angle of the brush think helps as well. So that you don't get a build-up of little lines and dots going in the same direction. I think that's looking a lot better already. So I don't know how it's looking on your guys' side. It's looking a slow transition to this little piece on the hip. The only thing I would say, it's still on the right spot. Usually the thing what I mess up with is having it too much on one side to the other side, just because of trying to build up to a piece, and usually it's hard for me to kind of nail it where I want, but this is still fine for now. It's a little bit too opaque. It's right there. What you say? A wild girlfriend appears. Let's just pull this up a little bit more, and then see if we screw everything up with putting contrast over it. That out. Still got that contrast paint on from earlier. So don't let that dark. In that range. So let's see if it's a win or fail. Try to get this nice and smooth over that transition. Add some water just to help everything out. It's a little bit muted now, but that should be fine. Too concerned about that. Let's just give that a blow. You get something like that. It's a bit subtle. Might go back to it just a little bit. There's at least a nice smooth transition to dark to that, nothing too stark. Well, I got everything good to go. I think I might as well just work on this. You usually don't need too much because all the foundation is already there. Break out that piece a little bit. A little bit more white. Or ivory. Give it a little dab. Just thin it out a little bit more. It's very subtle still, but thanks. Alright. Early man goes to bed every day. Every day. Have a nice night. Okay, I don't think I want to overdo that now. So let's give a more realistic view of how it would look. So basically going for that pose. It is still glossy, so it's getting a little bit blown out, but the idea is there. What I can do, I think I'm going to leave it as that for tonight. So I don't want to go too crazy. That's the thing, I always get into that mindset of comparing how I do my stuff to other guys, and they paint so fast and everything's basically perfect from the get-go. But yeah, I think it's just getting comfortable with what I can do and build up from there. And I think usually people get so demotivated of trying to get everything super smooth, but then when you go look at the pros work, it's a lot of little nicks and scratches here and there, which just helps everything come together. I think I just have to take a breath and do that. Yeah, everything doesn't have to always be thanks man, have to be super smooth from the start. So yeah, and I think I'm gonna go with that. I know Friday I'm gonna be able to stream for a really long time, basically from after work 6 till whenever my girlfriend comes home. So then we should get cracking a lot faster. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it there for tonight. Yeah, I'm probably gonna stream tomorrow night as well, just to get the first week nice and consistent. But yeah, it will speed up. I'm usually much more comfortable with metallics, because I know how I want it. This weird second skin thing I've not attempted yet, so it's a little bit of a learning curve just to get how the colors work with each other and all that. But yeah, and thank you very much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. It's a lot better than just sitting alone painting away, and I do hope at least it inspires you a little bit to maybe just give it a try. And yeah, so you must also have a great evening, and then I'll probably check you tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my evening and then have a good long think of what I want to do tomorrow. So yeah, alright, cheers guys, have a nice one, and then I'll check you guys tomorrow.